For the Philadelphia Eagles, it has been a dream season, establishing themselves as the class of the NFC. They continue to roll, and today they look to accomplish yet another mission. And home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs is there for the taking for the Philadelphia Eagles today, here at Lincoln Financial Field, as the Eagles take on the fading Dallas Cowboys, who come in with a record of 5-8. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all as we welcome you to Philadelphia. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa. And, all week long, the high-flying Eagles were worried about whether they would keep their momentum and rhythm the rest of the season, or would they have to rest some of their starters for health reasons. And, of course, we know the issue now. This is an important game for the Eagles.
It really is. Nothing has changed from the previous 13 weeks. They have got to win this game because, as you pointed out, the field advantage throughout the playoffs is still out there. They've accomplished the first two steps, but the final step still needs to be done. And from a player's perspective, the motivation for this football game is very simple. It's part that, but also you want to be 15-1. You want the best record in the NFL, and also nobody has ever swept the NFC East during the course of the regular season. The Eagles have a chance to do that today.
You know, Darryl, the loss to the Saints by the Cowboys last week really took a lot out of them, because I think from Bill Parcells on down, this team appears resigned, and that's not a good method to go into this kind of game today.
Not when you're going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. And from player to coach, you can sense a feeling of frustration, disappointment, maybe even disgust. It's a very strange atmosphere around the Dallas Cowboys, and one of the reasons for that is Bill Parcells still does not know what to expect from his team, and to be sitting here in week 13, that's a very difficult situation. He distanced himself from the team this week. The players felt that. The one good thing for the Cowboys, Julius Jones is in the lineup, and he was not there the first time these two teams played against each other. It will be important for him to have a big day, control the running game, take time off the clock, not allow that Eagles high-powered offense to be on the field all afternoon. Tony Siragusa, the first time you face a high-profile running back, is it difficult to get ready for him?
Yes, it absolutely is, Moose. We've broke down a lot of film in our day, both of us, and until you actually go and see the player, and you don't know what his capabilities, you don't know how good his speed is, what kind of capability he has as far as cutback. So I say today, Julius Jones might have the advantage over the Philadelphia's defense, at least in the first quarter.
All right, Tony, we'll see whether that dimension worked for Dallas. Meanwhile, for you fantasy players, still time to select your singular fantasy football team for this week. Text message 63504 on your singular wireless phone, or vote on foxsports.com. And welcome back to Philadelphia. It's going to get colder, a little snow late in the day, and this crowd poised, because with Atlanta beating Carolina last night in that thrilling overtime affair, the Eagles need a victory to clinch home field advantage throughout the NFC for the third straight year. Rashard Lee is back to receive the opening kickoff from David Akers, and this game is underway. The Eagles have won 5 in a row against the Cowboys here in Philadelphia. Terrence Copper returning the opening kickoff, straight arms a defender and goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So Vinny Testaverde, and that's what that has been the mantra of Bill Parcells all year long. He gives the Cowboys the best chance of winning, and here he is, the 41-year-old, at it again.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about what they should do at the quarterback position. Quentin McKell gets hurt on the opening kickoff, so you can see Andy Reid's concern. And now Quentin McKell has been a very valuable special teams player. They have had a history of kind of limping into the playoffs. So Quentin Michael, the opening kickoff, that's what you're going to see. Andy Reid's going to be like, boy, I don't want this, because they've been able to avoid that the majority of the season. Over the last couple of weeks, they've started to have some guys get nicked. Last week against the Redskins, had some guys go down. So, boy, that's not what you want to see when you've got all these things circulating about what should we do, how should we play out the season.
That's why you can't get too cocky as you move along in a 12-1 year, for the very reason you're talking about, because it's the injuries late in the year that really hurt you. We know about Hollis Thomas, one of their better run defenders, and he's going to be out for a while, and we're going to take a break right now. So one of the problems that Andy Reid will have for the rest of the regular season, trying to keep everyone healthy.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
How are you? All right. What do you want for Christmas?
You want the Eagles to win? Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's what you do around Christmas. Santa Claus listens to what the kids say, tries to get their wishes. And the wish for the Cowboys is to get off to a good start as Richie Anderson catching the first pass from Vinny Testaverde gets 9 yards. You're looking at a Cowboy offense, Darryl, that scored only 13 points against the worst defense, the Saints, a week ago.
And a lot of that reason was that group right there. The offensive line had one of their poorer games of the season. And Julius Jones, he's going to be your guy this afternoon. If they're going to have success, that offensive line has got to elevate their play from last week. Give him an opportunity to get into a rhythm. They've got to take time off the clock to keep the Eagles offense on the sideline.
And Kurt Bowlers will start for Torrin Tucker at right tackle, as you saw. One of the changes made by Bill Parcells. Here is Jones. He has the first down and crosses the 40-yard line, tackled by Mark Simoneau. And the Philadelphia Eagles defensive unit, they have done a great job against the run. They lead the NFL with 42 sacks.
They are an intimidating front, and they fit very, very well into the style that Jim Johnson likes to use. Jeremiah Trotter, in addition to shore up that run game, Mark Simoneau moves out to the weak side. And Brian Dawkins, one of the best guys in the league, big playmaker. They have got some solid guys across the board, and that style fits in very well with that man's scheme.
Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator, who loves to send a lot of people at the enemy quarterback. It'll be first down at the 43-yard line, and Testaverde getting plenty of time. And now finally going out to the left flat to Julius Jones, who was knocked out of bounds 5 yards short of the first down thanks to strong safety Michael Lewis.
You don't want to force anything downfield. They had a route with Keyshawn Johnson down the sideline. They're dragging a post into the middle of the field. But if it's not there, check the ball down. You can't have negative plays against the Philadelphia Eagles defense because they capitalize on it. That's where a lot of the momentum generates with their offense, getting on those short fields. You can't allow the Eagles to get out and get a lead on you early in the game, and that's going to be Dallas's biggest challenge this afternoon.
Actually, a 7-yard pickup, bringing up second down and 3 at midfield. 2 tight end alignment and the quick pass caught by Quincy Morgan. And that'll be a first down to the Eagle 44-yard line. A 6-yard gain. Sheldon Brown, the cornerback, making the play, and quick releases by Vinny so far.
Jeremiah Trotter right here. He's going to come pressure the middle. Here comes Tahani Jones. That's what they want to do. They want to get people into the face of Vinny Testaverde and make him uncomfortable in the pocket. A lot of guys will want to bring pressure from the outside. Jim Johnson really prefers it up the middle, and that is Jeremiah Trotter's strength. Those A-gaps right on the center, between the center and the guard on each side of the ball.
And if the Cowboys can keep their vaunted Eagle offense off the field, they've done a pretty good job, and so far controlling the ball. Julius Jones, however, is hit, and a big play made by Tahani Jones. You were just talking about him, and a 1-yard loss, bringing up second down and long.
And that's one of the things that they have eliminated since Julius Jones has been in the lineup, the negative running play. You know, he has such good instincts when he gets the ball. He's got quick feet. He has the ability to make a guy miss in small spaces, and they've eliminated a lot of those negative runs. But, you know, he makes the first guy miss, but there's somebody there to clean up. That's what I'm talking about with the offensive line. They have got to do a better job today. You can ask your running back to make the first guy miss, but not twice.
Second down and 11. From the 45 and on a delay, Julius Jones is tackled for another loss of 2 yards, this time by Corey Simon. And all of a sudden, the Eagles are clamping down on Julius Jones.
They really are, and it's just guys getting beat immediately right at the snap. Corey Simon right here goes right across Andre Garrett's face. There again, you've got a guy unblocked, 3 yards in the backfield. All the plays going that way. He's coming from the right to the left. It's hard for Julius Jones to see that because the point of attack is over to the left. We've seen 2 plays in a row now where the offensive line is not doing anything to help out the running back.
Third down and 13, and this is where the Eagles like to do some tricky things, and the quick pass incomplete to Jason Witten. And fourth down coming up. So the Eagles were blitzing on the third and long play, and fourth down coming up, and the Cowboys will punt.
But it's an effective opening drive for the Dallas Cowboys. They take almost 4 minutes off the clock. They're in a position right now to get the ball down into an area of a field in kind of established field position also. But unfortunately for them, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles mind throwing the ball all the way down the field from inside their 10.
No, we have seen that. Matt McBriar with the kick, and a good high kick, forcing Dexter Wynn to call for the fair catch. So a terrific kick because the Eagles will start on the 11-yard line when Donovan McNabb brings out his group for the first time today.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser, the bright color and crisp, clean taste you'll only find in the king of beers.
In their first meeting back on November 15th, the Philadelphia Eagles scored the most points ever for a visiting team at Texas Stadium, and 35 first-half points against the Cowboys established a franchise record, thanks to that man having a brilliant year at quarterback. Starting from the 12, McNabb completes the pass to Westbrook, and Westbrook picks up minimal yards on that play. And in talking to Bill Parcells, I was very impressed, as you were, when he said the Eagles offense is the best team I've played against since the 80s.
They are so explosive. There's just so many people for you to cover. And really, I think everybody looks at Donovan as the key, but I think Brian Westbrook kind of sets them apart. He creates the matchup problems for you. You can't double TO if you've got Brian Westbrook on the outside displaced across the formation.
2nd down and 8. Pressure put on McNabb. He knows how to get away, and the pass to Pinkston could not hold on. And that will be 3rd down, and you hear the boos for Todd Pinkston because, you know, he lost the ball. He claimed in the lights at FedEx Field last week. As you look at the Cowboys defense, and of course, Greg Ellis is the man to watch.
Yeah, he's had a solid season. The Eagles have a tremendous amount of respect for him. They're going to do a lot of different things to try and accommodate him. Scott Shanley's in there for Al Singleton starting. Roy Williams is the guy I'm waiting for. Lance Frazier is going to be the guy that the Philadelphia Eagles have targeted, are going to go after. But Roy Williams, he has got to elevate his play. And one of the things we'll point out during the course of the game is him playing out of position back there in that deep half.
And with plenty of time, pass is caught by L.J. Smith. So with an empty backfield and Westbrook going in motion, Smith makes the catch, good for 18 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, well, this is the play that Dick mentioned. You be the judge. Does this ball get lost in the lights, or is that a little bit of, oh, I'm going to take a big hit right there? Now, let me tell you what. You do something like that, and you're Philadelphia Eagles, these fans are going to give it to you. They want all-out effort all the time. Todd Pinkston has an opportunity on the opening drive today to make a catch and kind of doesn't get his hands all the way down and make a difficult catch. He's going to have a good game today to get these fans off his back.
Fans don't care for it.
And the handoff to Dorsey Levens, who has come in a couple of yards. And I know with Tony, breaking up is hard to do, anyone said, and that's what his Mike is doing right now. A 3-yard pickup with Marcellus Wiley making the tackle. Levens, with a touchdown last week, also scored one earlier in the year at Texas Stadium. As Andy Reid looking to give the Eagles a franchise-high 13 victories, and they would get it with a win today. And as Darryl mentioned, first time ever unbeaten in the NFC East. Donovan McNabb, his brilliant numbers as Westbrook carries, gets the 1st down. And Brian Westbrook, who's gone over 100 yards in rushing and receiving the last 5 weeks, picks up 8 yards.
And this is your challenge when you go against Brian Westbrook. The cutback, that play is supposed to be coming here, but you see he's going to get in there and wind it all the way back. You've got to fill every gap. When your backside defensive tackle is making the tackle 7 yards down the field, that is not a good start for this defense.
1st down on the 43, and that man is the heart and soul. A lot of people think of this offensive team with Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb. And McNabb gets hit. Flag is down, and the pass is intercepted by Roy Williams. There's a penalty flag down at midfield, and Williams returns what could be a Dallas interception back to the 45-yard line. The referee, Walt Coleman. And let's see if it'll stick.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, 59, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Very critical penalty against Dadwin, nullifying an interception.
Donovan McNabb gets some pressure in the pocket. He's actually going to get hit as he throws. Number 97, Leroy Glover, right there, contact. That's what makes the ball sail, but it doesn't matter because you had illegal contact by Dadwin. That is what has been Dallas's Achilles heel all season long. They can't make that play in a game. That's a huge play at this part in the game, and it gets wiped off the board.
They had 5 third-down defensive penalties last week against New Orleans, and on the slant, the pass intended for Terrell Owens, first time they're going to him, is incomplete.
Seems like the Dallas Cowboys are electing to defend Donovan McNabb the way a lot of teams are trying to defend Peyton Manning right now. And listen, it's very difficult for us to get there anyways. All season long, we've had difficulty generating pressure. Let's get some guys back in coverage. Let's try and cover up these throwing lanes, force them into some mistakes. It's doing a good job right now. We'll see if they continue with that or they mix in a little bit of pressure as the game wears on.
Terrell Owens is in the slot, and Pinkston lining up to the right. Handoff to Westbrook, trying to go outside, nowhere to go. And that play totally broke down, and Greg Ellis makes the tackle for the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's Greg Ellis, guy right up here at the top. A very underrated, solid player. I don't think he gets enough credit around the league for what he does. Down after down, week after week, Greg Ellis is one of your most steady performers in the NFL.
And he leads the team in sacks with 8. And a team that has really not put enough pressure on enemy quarterbacks. It'll be 3rd down and 12. And the Eagles on their own 46-yard line.
This is a spot where I think Donovan McNabb's gotten very comfortable. His adjustments at the line of scrimmage.
And he throws a fade to Terrell Owens, and the ball knocked away. It was never in the hands of Owens, but only in Terrence Newman's hands. And of course, you know, the Eagles want to take advantage of what has been subpar play by the Dallas corners. They hold here, 4th down coming up. Keyshawn is animated as he yells at Terrell Owens, and the Eagles will kick it away.
You know, I don't think I'm going to yell at Terrell Owens. You know, I think I'm just going to allow him to go out and have his game. I don't think I want to say anything to get him kind of juiced up a little bit more.
Dirk Johnson, who had a 51-yard boomer against the Redskins, and trying to keep it in the field, and the Eagles will down it at about the 2. So Dirk Johnson's last punt was a beauty, and so was this, another 51-yard kick. One of the great old-fashioned shots of television from years ago, showing the cheerleaders and the Philadelphia Eagle cheerleaders in full bloom today as the Cowboys will start 1st down from their 3-yard line. Julius Jones gets hit. No gain on the play. Dhani Jones makes another big defensive play. And right now the Cowboys have to be concerned, Darryl, that they can't get anything going. Back to the scrimmage. Its line of scrimmage is all they can do.
Well, they're forcing the play in the backfield. I mean, you watch where Julius Jones is going to have to make these plays. Dhani Jones coming all the way from the outside. That's not a guy reading the play and getting up into the hole. That is a run stunt and a blitz called by Jim Johnson. They're doing things up front and bringing these guys into the vacated areas because they know that the Dallas line really struggled last week against New Orleans' active front.
Dangerous place to be if you're the Cowboys against this defense. Here's Jones. And Jones brings it up to the 4-yard line. Sam Rayburn. And the one thing the Eagles are blessed with is depth, better depth on their defensive line compared to a year ago. They have Hollis Thomas, the run stopper we mentioned, out with a dislocated elbow. Derek Burgess, who is finally healthy this year. He is inactive with a separated sternum. So they have some people. Paul Grasmanis seeing his second action, and Sam Rayburn, who just made the last play.
Sam Rayburn has been very productive for them in that defensive line rotation. They have to feel much better at this point of the year, getting ready to make their playoff run with the health and the depth of that defensive line.
3rd down and 8 from the 5. Testaverde's pass, and it's caught, and close to the 1st down is Jason Witten, and he has it. So Testaverde going to his tight end, who has been one of the stars on offense for Dallas this year.
And Jason Witten, your guy, he's your guy in motion right there going onto the screen. He's going to run out, come back in on a little post route right there. But what he does is after the catch, there's a lot of Eagles around him. But for a big guy, he can stop and get redirected north and south up the field as well as any big tight end in the league. He didn't have that 1st down when he caught the pass. He got that on his own after the catch.
Leading receiver for the Cowboys caught 4 passes for 59 yards against the Saints. From the 15, they go to Jones again, and Jones will pick up a couple of yards as Sheldon Brown from the secondary and Darwin Walker, the defensive tackle, make the tackle. And talk about Jason Witten in the years he's had. What about these other breakout tight ends this season?
Yeah, Antonio Gates, a basketball player coming out of the MAC conference, just bursting on the scene for San Diego. Algie Crumpler, one of the big reasons Atlanta is where they're at. Jermaine Wiggins has done a great job filling in for Jim Kleinsaucer up in Minnesota. Eric Johnson, another young guy out in San Francisco. But to me, the cream of the crop right there, I'll take Jason Witten because he's as complete as any tight end I have seen in the league. I liken him to a Todd Heap up in Baltimore.
And that's high praise. 2nd down and 8. Penalty flag is down, and so is Julius Jones, who is stopped for no gain by Keith Adams. No gain and a penalty marker. Here's Walt Coleman.
Offside, 97. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So Darwin Walker with the 5-yard penalty.
Darwin Walker, 97, right there. You see he's cheating as much as he can. Sure does look like that helmet. He's almost lined up in the gap. Easy to penetrate that offensive line when you can line up in the gap.
And the gap is the area that you have to control.
Between the down lineman in the front. I don't know if Jim Johnson just turns him loose. You get upfield, disrupt the play. We'll have somebody come in and clean it up. I don't know if it's all worried about gaps all the time.
2nd and 3. Julius Jones going outside, and Cowboys unable to get any room to run. And a 2-yard gain with Semino and Brian Dawkins on the play. And if you're wondering where the Goose is, he's out here. He's had a little problem with his microphone, and as soon as we have that repaired, you'll be hearing from Tony, believe us.
This is Tony's kind of game. It's all down there in the trenches, so we gotta get that microphone fixed, get him back in here. I need to find out what's going on down there.
I miss him right now with all the stuff going on inside.
He's been busy this weekend.
I wonder what he was doing. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Cowboys on their 24, and the inside handoff to Darian Barnes.
Got lucky, fumbles
with a bobble, and he'd have the 1st down if the Cowboys get possession. It is a 1st down for Darian Barnes.
I think it's Sean Ryan right here, number 80, that comes in and gets the fumble. You're going to see it come loose. It's going to be down at the bottom, right near everybody's legs. There it is on the ground right here. There's rolling right there. Sean Ryan, heads up play right there. What a great job. You know, that is such an underappreciated play in the NFL. Basically, all you're doing is recovering a fumble. I'll tell you, Bill Parcells, Darian Barnes, that's the last time he's going to see a carry today. He might not get back on the field to make a block the rest of the day. Sean Ryan just kept Dallas's plan of being able to be competitive today alive.
They saved their bacon, at least on this play, and there is the pressure on Vinny Testaverde, who does all he can do to hold on to the ball. Sheldon Brown and company coming up from the secondary, and a loss of 8 yards. And right now, for a game break, let's go to L.A. and James Brown.
Hey, Dick, take a look here at the Vikings answering back after spotting the Lions a field goal. Dante Culpepper hooking up with a wide-open Nate Burleson, playing the game with a broken finger and nose. He is the leading receiver. Vikes trying to strengthen their playoff spot. And the ageless wonder, Jerry Rice, one-handed snag. Seattle on top, 7-3. Seattle in the playoffs with the win and some help. Back to Dick Stockton.
All right, thank you very much, JB. And now Julius Jones with his best run of the day. And it was Michael Lewis who brought him down after 8 yards. So the Cowboys back-to-back 8-yard gains. Remember, they started on their own 3-yard line, and now they have a 1st down on their own 18.
Well, the good thing about what they're doing right now is they're not panicking. They're kind of staying in that game plan. They're not pressing, and that's when you get into trouble against this defense. Punting the football early against the Philadelphia Eagles and forcing them to drive a long field is not a bad thing. The one thing you can't have is the turnover, which Dallas avoided with Sean Ryan recovering that fumble.
9th play of the drive, 3rd down and 9. Testaverde, and it's caught by Witten, and the Cowboys pick up another 1st down, and Witten was not contacted, and he is there. So Jason Witten, who has been the early target for Vinny Testaverde, gets 11 on the play.
It's the versatility. You get him out in the slot. He's a great route runner for a big guy. Watch the catch, though. It's on the back shoulder, high. A good job going up. He picked that ball up very quickly. He didn't get his head turned around. You see the athleticism, the ability to go up and make the catch. Jason Witten has quietly this year become, you know, to me, one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Cowboys tight end record with the 69 catches, breaking Doug Cosby's record. First down on the 38-yard line, and here's Julius Jones, and that'll be a loss of about 3.5 yards. And it was Paul Grassmanis, who playing more without Hollis Thomas in there. First action since the second game of a year ago last week.
Over the same guy again, Andre Garrod. Now it's Paul Grassmanis. We saw Corey Simon. He is getting beat to the inside. I mean, you cannot get beat to the inside. I mean, rule number one for an offensive lineman, you protect your inside, especially when the play is going away from you. And Andre Garrod twice already this afternoon has gotten beat immediately right across his face.
Well, Gerard and Tucker have been struggling on the right side. That's why they made replacements. Adams and Allen have been a little better on the left side of the line. And that is the end of the first quarter. No score here in Philadelphia. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. So Bill Parcells, who's not talking about playoffs now, obviously, after losing to New Orleans last week. He had hopes all year, trying to spring a big upset here. No score, second quarter. The Eagles have flourished in the first quarter this year, but not today. As Julius Jones on the first play on second down and 13 gets 8 of those yards back. And there you see exactly what the Cowboys want to do to try to keep McNabb, Owens, and Westbrook and company off the field.
That's just outstanding in the first quarter. That is exactly what you have to do with this offense. They only had one drive out there. So, you know, great job by the Dallas Cowboys offense being able to maintain the ball. Now, they've made a change. Right here, you've got Matt Lair, who's in the lineup now at right guard for Andre Garrod. So he had a chance to start the game, but that's it.
Well, down goes Testaverde. Corey Simon will get the sack. Back at the 35-yard line, a loss of 6, and the offensive line could not hold him out.
Now he's going to come right over here. You're bringing pressure up into the guard area. That's Matt Lair, your first guy in. Now that's a blown assignment because they turned him loose right. Got another missed assignment on the outside. I've seen guys try and do a crossing route where they rub the defender off, but I've never seen that one where they try and rub their own player off on the ground. That's mistakes. You can't have the missed assignments.
Pleased to meet you for the Cowboys as Dexter Wynn tackled at the sideline at the 30-yard line. Well, the Cowboys can say they've controlled the ball, but still nothing here at Lincoln Financial Field. And welcome back to the city of brotherly love. You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in the world's finest high-definition standard. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston and the Goose, Tony Siragusa. And a guy we got to watch, Greg Ellis, and I know the Eagles are today, Tony.
Absolutely, Dick. You know, just watching Greg Ellis down here, he's, you know, one-on-one very rarely with John Runyon. They've had a tight end on him, cutting him. They've had the fullback out of the backfield trying to disrupt him. They're doing whatever they can to try and keep him off of any let's see, Donovan McNabb.
High praise for Greg Ellis because they have the same game plan for Michael Strahan.
Play action and going to Terrell Owens, and the pass thrown out of bounds. But step for step with him was Terrence Newman. And so the Eagles, only their second possession of the game after 16-plus minutes. So the Cowboys getting that part of the job done. And Terrell Owens, of course, is one touchdown reception away from forcing their head coach to wear spandex. That's true. The best point differential by a team this year. And there you saw, and there's Andy Reid, who promised everyone that no one would actually see the tights, and they're selling tickets, and the prices are going higher and higher.
I talked to him before the game, Dick, and he said, you know, everybody just in the whole country just wants to see a guy who's overweight in a pair of tights. This is ridiculous.
You can identify with that. And the pass is caught by Todd Pinkston and a first down. And so let's see what's going to look like when Andy Reid finally puts those tights on. And you know it's going to happen sooner or later. You like the white ones?
No, white. He's got to wear something dark. It's more slimming. See right there. Look how much more better the black looks than the white.
Nice calves on him right there.
The eagle green.
That's eagle green.
Well, it's a good fashion. No red. But it is Christmas, though. It is. We're getting close to Christmas.
Yeah.
Is that hot red?
It was more hot. You know, not the real hot red, kind of the Christmas red, you know.
Fire engine red.
Yeah, that's it.
Donovan McNabb up the middle and overthrows. So McNabb has not been very accurate to start the game. Freddie Mitchell covered by Roy Williams downfield, and that will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Sometimes Roy Williams has got to bypass on the big hit and make the big play. Right here, you can tell this ball is overthrown. That's an interception for Roy. But Roy wants to come up and deliver the big hit to Freddie Mitchell. Sometimes he's Freddie trying to brush him up. You ain't got nothing, Roy. I didn't even feel that. You're like a bug on me. But sometimes he's got, I know you want to get the big hit early and set the tempo, but, an interception can do the same thing for you.
McNabb 3 for 8 right now, going the other way. Flag is down, and the pass is caught by Todd Pinkston.
Interesting to see whether this is offensive or defensive. Todd Pinkston looked like he had a little bit to do on that thing.
Lance Frazier, the man they want to go at.
Illegal use of hands to the face, 30, defense. That penalty's declined. The play results in a first down.
And you can see how disgusted Bill Parcells is because he has seen a lot of this.
Yeah, they have had too many defensive penalties the last few weeks. You cannot get your hand on the face mask of the wide receiver when you are on the outside. It's a very easy play call for the officials on the outside. Todd Pinkston does a good job of fighting through everything and making the catch to make it irrelevant.
And Andy Reid made no bones about it. He says, we're going at number 30. We're going at Lance Frazier as much as we can. First down for the Eagles on the Cowboy 36. Here's Westbrook following his blocking, and he picks up about 4 or 5 yards. Dat Win, the middle linebacker, making the play.
Well, Lance Frazier tips his hat. He's coming from the outside. He's going to pressure right here. Watch him come into your frame. If you're going to blitz from the outside, come in and make the play. I mean, he doesn't even get near Brian Westbrook in that situation. If you're going to send the guy, I mean, blitzers, it's a different thing. You've got to be able to see the play developing. If they're going to take a chance and bring you on the play, you've got to go make the play. You've got to be able to see where the ball is and go make the tackle.
Moose, it almost looked like he was waiting for the runner to bounce outside. It never happened. There was a gaping hole on the inside.
Guys, he took the circuitous route on that one and came up empty-handed. 2nd down and 6, and McNabb with time going underneath to Dorsey Levens, who breaks a tackle and gets down to the Cowboys' 15-yard line. And right now, let's check in with another game break. Here's James Brown.
All right, Dick Stockton, the Jets capitalize on their 2nd goal line opportunity with a touchdown. This one by Curtis Martin, his 11th rushing touchdown that ties a franchise record. They're nursing a 3-point lead over Seattle in the 2nd. Back to Dick Stockton.
So Seattle hopes to win a road game to keep their 1-game lead in the NFC West. Meanwhile, the Eagles, with a 17-yard pass play, have a first down on the 15 of the Cowboys, and Brian Westbrook is now split wide to the right. He's open, and he makes the catch on the slant and has a first down inside the 5. How many different positions does Brian Westbrook play for this team? He can be an I-back, he can be a fullback, or a receiver for 11 yards here.
The big thing is you can displace him all over the formation. He could have been out there. He could have been in the slot where Terrell is, in close where Greg Lewis is. But what he's doing, he's learning the subtleties of the position. He absolutely froze Dat Win in his tracks. That is the ability that he has when he gets the ball in open spaces, because he can make so many people miss. You just go. Give it everything you got. Go to take him down, deliver the big hit. If you miss, fine, because he's going to make you look silly like he did to Dat Win right there.
And this is an overmatch as far as the red zone is concerned. Looking at the Eagles, number 1, and the Cowboys near the bottom, as Dorsey Levens is tackled by Carson after a pickup of 2 yards here. And we're early in the 2nd quarter. Scoreless game, and there you see into the game, it'll be a 3 tight end formation. Mike Bartram has joined L.J. Smith and Chad Lewis into the lineup. 9th play of the drive coming up. Cowboy defense has been very tough in preventing rushers from scoring. 2nd down and goal at the 2, and it'll be a pass play. And the pass is caught. What a play made for a touchdown by Chad Lewis. Chad Lewis, and a flag is down. Just timed his leap against all the Dallas defenders.
Number 89 right here, Chad Lewis. He's going to do a good job selling the play. This is a good job by Dallas.
Defense lined up in the neutral zone. That penalties decline. Touchdown.
That's a touchdown. They'll enforce that on the kick, but Dat Win They bought him a little bit of time because they got pressure into Donovan McNabb's face, and they made him hold the ball and then deliver it late. Now, Dadwin he had time to make up, but he didn't find the ball. He never picked it up as he was closing on Chad Lewis.
So the Eagles jump on top 6-0, and David Akers, who has been a perfect 39 for 39 in the point after this year. High kick misses it, and it's blocked. It was a low kick, and it goes off to the left. And the first miss of the year for Akers, and the Eagles will have to be content with a 6-0 lead over the Cowboys.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by GMC Trucks and SUVs. We are professional grade. By Citizen Watches, Citizen Echo Drive, Unstoppable. By Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, eating good in the neighborhood, Applebee's. And by iRobot, own it on DVD today.
6-0 the score. Hey, Tony, did I jinx Akers, you think?
Oh, man, when you said he had a perfect 39 for 39 this year, man, you just put it all over him. He's got to go see a priest now, Dick.
You know what else he's notorious for? The guy who hasn't thrown an interception or a fumble. You know, that thing will come out. He hasn't had a fumble in 315 carries.
You know that next play's going to be a fumble.
I wish it were that easy. Terrence Copper returning the kickoff for the Cowboys, who trail 6-0, and Copper extends it beyond the 30. And you saw the number on McNabb, not near Manning, but 30 touchdown passes, pretty impressive. Cowboys start from the 31. Bill Parcells really not happy with the right side of his offensive line. Kurt Bowler's replacing Torrin Tucker, who did not make the trip. And now Matt Lair has replaced Andre Gerard. In motion is Dedrick Ward. First down for Dallas. Vinny Testaverde stepping back, and his pass thrown out of bounds. And the Eagles say he was in the pocket. It's intentional grounding, and a flag is down.
I'm assuming that that's another missed assignment, because I don't think Vinny was under that much duress to take a shot at an intentional grounding penalty. I think he really expected somebody to be out there in that part of the field. We saw the last play. We saw the missed assignment on the protection that allowed the pressure. We saw the receivers run into each other on the outside. I just don't understand the lack of concentration at this stage of the season for the Cowboys.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Holding, 68, offense. That penalty will be declined. We have intentional grounding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty and loss of down. Second down.
And the loss of down is the reason they took the intentional grounding call.
Yeah, well, here's your holding is going to be on Matt Lair right there. He's your guy that's in for Andre Gerard. So I don't know what you do at that point. You know, you're running out of guys. Tyson Walters available. They sat Ben Knoll down.
Jacob Rogers, perhaps.
Well, yeah, he's a tackle though. He's a rookie, and I don't know if Coach Parcells wants him in the lineup going against Javon Curse. It's just you have such a poor performance the week before, and you know that they've emphasized all this, and to come out and have the type of performance you've had up to this point, you can understand why Bill Parcells does not know what to expect from his team.
No, he said he was worried about how the team will act, and it was a sense of resignation around the Cowboys, and it's resonated here, although in due respect for the Cowboys, despite their offensive line problems, they did control the ball pretty much in that first quarter, although they did not score. And the officials are trying to get things straightened out as well, and now we're ready to go. Second down and 21 for the Cowboys. Julius Jones, who has gained 26 yards on 10 carries with his 11th attempt, and a good one for the rookie from Notre Dame, who was hurt and gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
You know, Moose, you talked earlier about the inconsistency at Dallas. You know, you watch them, and all of a sudden they'll have a really good play. The next play they'll give up a sack, or they'll miss a missed assignment left and right. You know, I know all the players all week were talking about how Coach Parcells distanced himself from other players, and you can understand why.
Yeah, they can't follow it up. They can't get on any type of roll or establish any type of rhythm with positive plays on consecutive plays.
Third down and 10 on the 31. 3 wide receivers out of the shotgun is Vinny Testaverde. He's got time, and Testaverde, flag is down, and the pass caught by Quincy Morgan into Eagle territory at the 49. But a flag is thrown back on the 30-yard line of Dallas. That would be a 21-yard gain. And penalties have really crushed Dallas so far.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 82 was not on the line of scrimmage, leaving the tackle uncovered.
Boy, how
5-yard
frustrating.
penalty, still third down.
How frustrating this has to be for Bill Parcells.
Well, these are basic, fundamental things. Now, you've got both of your receivers here and here. One of those guys has to cover the line of scrimmage because you've got an open tackle right there. Now, it's on either guy. You know, which one of you guys is supposed to be up? I say the outside guy. I think you're trying to get Jason Witten into a slot. I'm going to put that on the guy on the outside. Not very rarely do you see the slot guy up on the ball and then the wide receiver off. Most times you see it flip. I don't know whose responsibility, but a pre-snap, missed assignment again.
So instead of a 21-yard gain and a first down, it's third down and 15, and Witten makes the catch, but he won't get to the first down marker. And it was Michael Lewis, the Eagles' strong safety, in what has been a surprisingly terrific secondary for the Eagles this year. And there is Lewis, who, along with Dawkins, who has come back huge this season, and Shepard and Brown at the corners. 12-yard gain, and it's a punting situation. Dexter Wynn, the rookie from Colorado State, goes back to receive the kick from Matt McBriar.
With the loss of Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent, a lot of questions coming into the season, but Sheldon Brown and Lito Shepard done a great job manning the corners for the Eagles.
You're so right how they have delivered, and of course they did get pretty good experience last year when both of those corners were hurt. And the punt will go inside the 20-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start with 8:01 remaining in the second quarter here in Philadelphia. Could be home field clinching day for the Eagles, who lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford. The next Ford Super Duty. Tougher, stronger, smarter. By Zales, the Diamond Store. By State Farm, providing insurance and financial services like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by the new Singular, raising the bar.
What's your name? Jessica? What would you like, Jessica?
I like felt coloring.
What's that?
I felt coloring. She likes physical stuff.
Oh, okay. We'll get one of them on the list. You gonna wave to everybody out there? Wave to the camera.
And this is the week that Santa listens to what the youngsters want. It's all over the country. Santa Claus. Dorsey Levens picking up about 6 yards on first down. Wiley and Frazier on the play, and for another game break, here's JB. What do you got, JB?
Hey, Dick Stockton, well, here's what the Vikings fans want for Christmas. More of this. Take a look at Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss. Vintage 51st hookup of their careers. 82 yards, Dick. Longest ever touchdown for Moss. I guess the hamstring is okay. It is now 14-3 Minnesota. That in the second. Back to Dick Stockton.
All right, thank you, JB. Meanwhile, another wide receiver, Todd Pinkston, just limped off the field for the Eagles. We'll have a second down and 4, and McNabb rolling out. And McNabb passing to Terrell Owens, goes out of bounds, and it appears to have a first down at the 30-yard line. So here's the story in the NFC North. The Vikings trailing the Packers by 1, and Green Bay is playing Jacksonville today. And of course, Minnesota knows that they've got Detroit today, but next week on Christmas Eve they have the big game at home against Green Bay.
A huge game for the Packers and the Minnesota Vikings, sorting out that NFC North. But I agree, Dick, the Green Bay Packers, they are going to have their hands full today at Lambeau Field with Jacksonville. The one thing they've got going for them, though, I've heard it's minus 19 with the wind chill up in Lambeau.
Sure, Jacksonville is going to be happy about that. There you see working on Todd Pinkston, who came out of the game, replaced by Greg Lewis, number 83, and the Eagles will call their first timeout. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Eagles 6, Cowboys nothing.
Today's game on Fox is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Well, next week on a Fox NFL special, we mentioned this Christmas Eve big one. The Packers and Brett Favre against Dante Culpepper and the Vikings in a game that could decide the NFC North Division champion. Coverage will begin Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific here on Fox, presented in Fox Sports High Definition. Eagles with their timeout come back to the line of scrimmage. It's the 29, first down. Brian Westbrook back in there, but Donovan McNabb wants to throw the ball, goes underneath, and it's dropped by Westbrook, bringing up third down. or even second down.
That's one thing Dallas is doing well right now. They're doing a good job on first down. And, you know, one of the things that they've struggled with is getting into second and short where the playbook opens up for the opposition. It takes them out of their style. Mike Zimmer, his success last year when this defense was ranked #1 in yards was being able to pressure because they got teams in a lot of third and long situations. The success that their opponents have had on first down this season has prevented them from playing that same style.
And Terrell Owens on a fake end around and the screen to Westbrook. And Westbrook is tackled about 5 or 6 yards shy of the first down. Good play made by a couple of linebackers. Dat Wynn has been doing it all year. And Scott Shanley, who's making his first NFL start today. At outside linebacker, Shanley at the strong side for Al Singleton, as Moose mentioned.
Yeah, he has done a real nice job on special teams all year long. He's one of those guys that Bill Parcells likes. One of the guys that's down in that area of guys, special teams guys. He's looking for the smart player, the tough player, the guy that loves to play the game. I think he's out of that mold, and he's proving his mettle today, getting his first opportunity to start. He's done a nice job.
And playing alongside that man, Dat Wynn, 3rd down and 6. And McNabb has it stripped away, and the Cowboys recover. The Dallas Cowboys recover at the 22, so Greg Ellis came in, the man they had to watch, and Eric Abagu make the recovery for the Dallas Cowboys.
Greg Ellis out here at your left defensive end. He's going up against John Runyon. He talked to us about going inside. He really feels that John Runyon sometimes struggles when a guy comes up and then goes hard to the inside. That time, he just beat him to the outside, and that is the play that Dallas needs to do more of. They have had a difficult time with getting takeaways, and one of those reasons is because they're not doing a good job getting sacks on the quarterback. The sack fumble is a play that's almost been non-existent in the Dallas defensive performances this year. Greg Ellis, you can see why they had so much respect for him.
And Darryl, the Eagles coming into the game had committed only 13 turnovers, tied with the Jets for the fewest in the NFL, and now a golden opportunity for Vinny Testaverde and the Cowboys. First down on the Eagle 23, Julius Jones cutting upfield, getting inside the 20. Hugh Douglas on the tackle. And an opportunity. Remember, the Eagles scored the touchdown but missed the extra point.
Well, Dallas does a good job of generating the turnover, but unfortunately their work is far from done right now. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at how they play defense after the turnover. An average of only 1.3 points per turnover. Best in the NFL across the board. That is where this team has kind of separated itself. You know, they can be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball because their defense plays so well in that sudden change, which is a situation you have after a turnover.
That's nothing but pride there, Moose. That's the hardest thing, the quick turnovers and the change of possession for a defense to go and get all ready to get in there, and they do a great job at it.
And on 2nd and 5, a 3-yard pickup by Jones as he gets to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and short, so if the Cowboys want to contend in this game, this would be, even at this stage, a big down for them.
Well, this is a huge down. I mean, you've got to get points, and we saw in David Akers' extra point attempt that nothing is given in the NFL today. You know, you can have a kick block. You've got to stay on pace. You've got to take advantage of every opportunity. 3 points here does not help the Cowboys, in my opinion.
3rd down and 2, and here is the first down by Julius Jones as he followed his blockers nicely, getting down to the 10-yard line, picking up 5 in the process.
They did a nice little change up here because this is Richie Anderson as your fullback. To me, that tips me off, okay, let's get ready for pass, play action, some type of passing situation, and they slip Julius Jones up on the inside. Richie Anderson does a good job on Hugh Douglas, a guy not known for his run defense.
No, hardly. And tell you what, this is the one element, as we mentioned, that the Cowboys did not have when they were destroyed 49-21 at Texas Stadium. The presence of a Julius Jones to run the ball. And he dives close to the 7-yard line. Sheldon Brown making the tackle. He has gained 52 yards, has Jones, on 15 carries. And when he finally got healthy, and it was the first appearance really of any note was against the Baltimore Ravens in a losing cause, Bill Parcells felt he finally had a running back.
Well, he found out, and he really found out quickly because he loaded him up with a bunch of carries, and those were against good defenses. You talk about the Baltimore Ravens, the Chicago Bears, then he goes out to Seattle. Consecutive games with 30-plus carries. The only guy to do that besides Julius Jones, Earl Campbell.
2nd down and goal on the 7-yard line, and there's a play fake and the pass, and it is caught in the end zone by Keyshawn Johnson for the touchdown. And it may have been shaken up momentarily, as he went down with Lito Shepard. It would be a 7-yard touchdown pass from Testaverde, who is going over to see how Keyshawn is.
Well, that is what Keyshawn Johnson was brought in here to do. He's the physical possession receiver, sells him on a little outside move, then cuts back to the post. A ball thrown very well on time by Vinny Testaverde up in a spot where Keyshawn could go get it.
That's exactly what when the run opens up, that's exactly what it does. You come with the play action, and everybody bites on that run because you're getting yards here and there.
Billy Cundiff will try to give the Cowboys the lead with 3:22 to go in the first half, and he does. And what a surprise for the Eagles, knowing that they need a win, at least this week, to wrap up home field throughout. The Cowboys leading 7-6 late in the second quarter.
You heard Tony talk about the play action. This guy right here is going to go across in coverage on a route. Jeremiah Trotter is a guy that gets kind of caught. He doesn't get back and get the depth to close down that throwing lane, but watch the throw by Vinny Testaverde, because he does have to go right over the top of Jeremiah Trotter. That's why it was up, and Keyshawn Johnson had to go up and make the catch. But a good throw by Vinny Testaverde that did a good job affecting some of the coverage underneath, and got 7 points.
Yeah, no doubt, Darryl, and the patented Keyshawn catch. We've seen him make a lot of those over his career. J.R. Reed, the rookie kick returner, brings it out to the 31-yard line. And the Eagles, who have won 8 out of the last 9 over the Cowboys, trailing 7-6. Today's game is being seen around the world on Armed Forces Television, and we want to send our best wishes to the men and women of the 2nd Battalion, 503rd Airborne Infantry, the Fury from the Sky in Vicenza, Italy. And we appreciate all you do for America. And of course, you know, a lot of Christmas cards heading your way. Well, we have one to send you guys and gals out there, remembering you at Christmas, and signed by our broadcast crew, Tony Siragusa, Darryl Johnston, and yours truly. This is our Christmas card to you, and we are with you all the way. 1st and 10, and McNabb has all day to throw, and he finally finds Brian Westbrook out on the flat, and Westbrook does the rest himself with his legs, and a first down to the 46, picking up 16-yard line. And Shanley that time missed Brian Westbrook.
Well, he's going aggressive to make the tackle, but you've got to be aware of who's got the ball. I mean, it's Brian Westbrook. He's going to come out here on a little flare route. There goes 58, Scott Shanley. You've got to keep him a little bit closer to you. Now watch as he goes out, under control. If you're going to get around that guy in open space, you've got to break down and come to balance when you get close.
From the 46, and here's Westbrook again, and he doesn't go anywhere after making the grab, and is tackled at the 49 after picking up 2.5 yards. Remember, Todd Pinkston worked on the sideline. He has an injured knee, and it's questionable as to his return. And again, we've got to point out, and the Eagles need this game. They're not going to play around today because they want to nail down the home field throughout in the NFC. But, you know, the injuries, sometimes they mount toward the end of the year. And now Pinkston, we don't know the degree of that hurt, and some of the defensive linemen. 2nd down and 7 on the 49 of the Eagles. And the clock runs down to the 2-minute warning in what has been a surprise, to say the least. Dallas leading Philadelphia 7-6. Well, you wonder what you make of this game. It's 7-6, and the Eagles, of course, coming off a tough win against Washington last week on the road. Dallas came in and looked like deflated, and yet they're hanging in there.
Unbelievable, the sense you got talking to Dallas's coaches and players on Saturday night, but they're executing a plan that Bill Parcells had in place. Now, he had it in place the first time, and it didn't work out. But Julius Jones, the addition of Julius Jones and the ability to control the clock and keep Philadelphia's offense off the field. Sometimes the best defense is a very effective offense.
And, of course, you turn the ball over as the Eagles did. The Cowboys took advantage of it. And here's the handoff to Brian Westbrook. Gets the first down. So Westbrook could be a big factor as Roy Williams makes the stop after picking up 9 yards on the play. Westbrook now has gained 19 yards in 4 carries as a rusher and has caught 5 passes already.
You talked earlier about Westbrook, Moose, and this play right there just goes to show that he loves to hit more than he loves to get interceptions, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't know where this theory that he's not a tough guy comes into play, because that was Roy Williams. He took him on and delivered a blow himself.
And nearly picked off on the deflection. It was deflected off the hands of Terrell Owens. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It all begins with America's #1 pregame show. Then Michael Vick and the Falcons. What a comeback against the Saints. Followed by the classic rivalry. And it's going to be Parcells and Gibbs. Redskins playing much better as of late. Beat the 49ers yesterday on Fox against Dallas. Other regional action. Coverage begins noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific here on Fox. Presented in Fox Sports High Definition.
Patrick Ramsey.
Hope you don't have a cold. Here's Brian Westbrook on the flip end around, and Westbrook picking up 5 yards on the play. I hope that cough gets better soon.
I had a little tickle in my throat.
I got lozenges if you need one.
There is Terrell Owens, who so far in this game has not caught a pass. Remember, he's 1 touchdown reception away from some fun with his head coach Andy Reid. Want to remind you, coming up on the Visa halftime report, J.B. Terry, Howie, and Jimmy scores and highlights them around the league. 3rd down and 5, and McNabb pass, and it's dropped by Freddie Mitchell. Looked like Mitchell had his hands on it.
Right through his hands, Dick.
That's what number 31 does, lurking in the secondary. Sometimes those hands become attached. Oh, and I'm not going to get on him about that one. That was just a lack of concentration at the catch.
So 4th down, and Dirk Johnson will come on to kick it away. And so here is Johnson, and the Eagles right now not playing like a 12-1 team. And back deep is Lance Frazier. He's going to try and let that kick go in the end zone, but it's caught at the 9-yard line by Roderick Hood, and that's where the Eagles, or the Cowboys, will begin. This February, television's biggest event returns to Fox with a full day of coverage, beginning with a star-studded pregame spectacular. And then the game's best teams meet to crown a champion. Super Bowl 39 this February in high definition, only on Fox. And of course, the Eagles, who have lost the last 3 NFC title games in the past 2 years, right here in Philadelphia, looking to get over that hump. So regardless of what their record has been in the regular season, everyone will look to that game. Can they get by that one?
Well, they got to get there first. There's a lot of high expectations out there, Dick, but there's no guarantees even get there.
Right. 1st down and 10 with 35 seconds to go, and Julius Jones for no gain. So coming up again, we want to remind you on the Visa halftime report, our guys out in Los Angeles, J.B. Terry, Howie, and Jimmy, scores and highlights from the early games around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second scores and stats. Eagles with a timeout, their second. 29 seconds remaining in the half. Terrell Owens had a tremendous game against the Cowboys in their early meeting with 6 catches, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He has not been shut out today, has caught 1 for a measly 4 yards. But the Cowboys have the ball, 2nd down and 9. Not about to try anything fancy with a 1-point lead, although look at that tremendous balance by Julius Jones as he gets 5 yards. And a timeout will be called with 22 seconds remaining. Well, T.O. hasn't been able to strut his stuff yet, and by calling the 3rd and final timeout on 3rd down and 4, the Cowboys still hope to get one last shot at least getting the ball in position for a possible field goal. Vinny Testaverde coming back from the bench. Cowboys have been pretty good on 3rd downs today, guys. 4 of 7, and they need 4 yards here.
Yeah, I think their big thing here is just to convert so the time can run out and not allow the Philadelphia Eagles to have the opportunity to get the ball back.
They're out of timeouts, and they're not going to get the 1st down as Jones is brought down by Darwin Walker. Dhani Jones also involved in the play. And the final seconds will tick off, and that will be the story as the Eagles, by virtue of a David Akers missed extra point trail. And that is the end of the first half with the score. The Cowboys 7 and the Eagles 6. Fox NFL Sunday continues. The Visa halftime report after these messages.
The Visa halftime report is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
All right, welcome to those of you to the Visa halftime here. Dallas in Philadelphia. Philadelphia trying to clinch home field throughout.
Donovan McNabb and the Eagles looking to clinch home field advantage, but first play action. It's Testaverde sacked by Sheldon Brown. Corner blitz. No score at this point. The top left of your screen, Chad Lewis will make a phenomenal tight end reception in the end zone. Touchdown, a 2-yard version. Extra point was blocked. 6-0 Eagles. McNabb back. Hit by Greg Ellis. Fumbles. And there he is, Eric Abagu. Yeah, that's good. I got Abagu covers. Cowboys. I like that. Touchdown pass, Keyshawn Johnson. There it is. I got it in. 7-6. It is. Thank you very much, Cowboy. Yeah. Jets hosting Seattle. Curtis Martin getting ready to rumble up there. Martin bounces outside. Seahawks, bad tackling, finally into the secondary. 20-yard game would lead to a field goal, 3-0. Then Hasselbeck back, top right of the screen. Wall, touchdown reception, the third by Jerry Rice since joining the Seahawks, 197th of his career. Curtis Martin then out of the eye, right tackle, touchdown, 14th touchdown on the season, new franchise record, 17-7. And then Pennington looking right, throwing right. What about the bad arm? That's some bad information. Nice shot. Beautiful catch. There it is. 32-yard strike to Santana Moss. 24-7. Jets over Seahawks. Vikings traveling to play the line. Plenty of pass protection. Something Culpepper hadn't had of late. Nate Burleson there, 36-yard score. 7-3 Vikings. Hey, look at the pass protection once again. Plenty of time to throw. Randy Moss, 82-yard touchdown reception, his longest of his young career. It is Minnesota.
Right there.
Yes, it did. Here's another guy looking awfully good. Kevin Jones in from 16 yards out. It is Viking 14-13 over the lines, hoping to get into the playoffs.
Boy, look at the Chiefs. Dante Hall got it started with the second kickoff return for a touchdown. And the Chargers 14-0 over the Browns. LaDainian Tomlinson, wow. Rushing touchdown in 11th straight game. The young fellas getting it done. Buffalo Bills strengthening their playoff hopes. 21-10 over the Bengals. And Chicago clinging to slim playoff hopes, trailing the Texans by the score of 7-0. Back to this Dallas and Philadelphia game. Jimmy, Cowboys playing pretty doggone well.
Really doing a nice job. They're very efficient on offense, converting 50% of their third down tries. And then on defense, they're rolling the coverage to T.O. to take him away, limiting McNabb to just throwing the ball underneath the Westbrook. 5 catches. They've got to get T.O., got to move him around a little bit, got to get him away from double coverage.
Well, Bill Parcells been pulling his hair out, as we pointed out, and Darryl Johnson talked about it in the pregame. Distancing himself from the football team, maybe this approach kind of was a different way to go, and it inspired the Dallas Cowboys, particularly on defense. But if you're going to eliminate Philadelphia, teams that have frustrated them have been the teams that have taken away the big plays.
Right.
All right, folks, let's take a look here moments ago in this Seattle-New York Jets game. Take a look here. Jeremy Stevens getting the job done. On the right side of your screen, there it is, touchdown toss. Jeremy Stevens, 6-yard touchdown strike. And, boy, we got ourselves a ball game here. A little closer now as the Jets hold to a 10-point lead, 24-10. Of course, the Jets trying to see if they can do it with a little bit of help, as is the case with Seattle. All right, folks, we'll step aside as the Visa halftime continues. We'll be bringing a lot more your way. And, of course, the second half of your game comes up after this.
At halftime, the Cowboys leading the Eagles 7-6, and we'll return to Philadelphia for the start of the second half after a look at sights from the first half and these messages from your local Fox station. Getting ready for the third quarter with the Cowboys in front of the Eagles 7-6. And the one thing you can say about the Cowboys, they have not made mistakes today. Vinny Testaverde, no interceptions, no fumbles. In fact, their turnover caused by Greg Ellis allowed them to score the big touchdown.
Yeah, the 2 big plays in the first half, the sack fumble by Greg Ellis that they took down and got 7 points from. But let's not forget about that blocked extra point. That's the difference in the game right now. And as you so boldly prefaced, David Akers was 39 for 39 in his his season this year.
Hey, 39 for 40 is pretty good in its own right. That's not what he was looking for, however. All right, let's take a look at our fantasy update right now. And you see the quarterbacks with touchdowns and Keyshawn Johnson with the catch for the Dallas touchdown. And for the latest in fantasy stats, log on to foxsports.com. The Eagles will get the ball first, and that means Donovan McNabb will go to work first. And in their play selection, no surprise in the first half. The Eagles passed on 20 of their 28 plays. Make no mistake about it, this is a throwing team.
This is a throw first, run second, maybe run third or fourth. Maybe not, maybe even down the road a little bit farther. But the big thing, I think, where you see Donovan McNabb's improvement this year is, there's been some people who've been critical of him in the past on his accuracy on the underneath crossing route, some of the shorter throws. He's really had a marked improvement this season, and this is not just a passing offense. This is a catch and run offense, and his ability to hit these guys in stride and allow them to make plays after the catch, a big reason for their success offensively.
Billy Cundiff will start the second half going with a kick to J.R. Reed. And the rookie from South Florida, trying to give the Eagles good field position, is tackled at the 21-yard line. Tony Siragusa, what did you find out, friend?
Well, I talked to Coach Parcells. He said his team did exactly what he wanted them to do in the first quarter, is control the ball. But in this second half, he feels he's going to have to open up the offense, take a lot more chances. He had some mental breakdowns, like we've gone over and over again, myself and Moose, about saying they've been having some, bad breakdowns up on the front line. He says he's got to go and open it up. So we'll see what happens.
Well, do you believe he really will in the second half?
I think he has to, especially because of the weather. Dick, it's starting to drizzle down here. The field's getting a little bit wet. So if he wants to go and open it up, he better do it quick.
Dorsey Levin's getting the first call. Greg Ellis meets him after a 2-yard pickup.
That's going to be the dilemma this second half. Does Bill Parcells have the confidence to open it up? He's talked a lot about the people on the outside. He's talked about Vinny Testaverde being the quarterback that gives them the best chance to win. But I think a lot of that is, the guys that they have around them. Keyshawn's a possession receiver. You saw the good catch he made for the touchdown, but they don't have a vertical threat. Since early in the season. So, it will be difficult for him to open it up, to get aggressive. And if this weather is on its way in here, if the conditions are going to deteriorate as this game moves forward, I think that makes it even more difficult to become aggressive. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Hey, what's worked so far has worked so far. I mean, he's played conservatively, and they lead by 1 point. And the Eagles have not dominated the offense. Defensive holding called against Dallas, resulting in a first down for the Eagles. And here is McNabb drilling it, and it's caught by Terrell Owens. His second catch of the day, and this one for substantial yardage. 20 yards and a first down into Dallas territory. Williams covering, and now he's slowly getting up and running, trying to run and shake it off, I guess, as he runs off the field.
I tell you, Andy Reid he's got to be standing over there going, don't let this happen. Watch at the end of the play. Now Roy Williams is going to come in and get him down. The way he brings him down right there is his right ankle. It's that, he's grabbing at his knee, but watch at the end. Watch his foot get kind of caught in the grass.
And he is really limping as he goes back to the bench. He was struggling going back to the bench, and there he is now being worked on.
We talked over and over why this Eagles offense is so good. It was because they didn't have injuries. Now, all of a sudden, late in the season, this is not what they want.
What he's got to do right now, he's got to be smart. Sit down, let the trainers take a look at you, figure out what's wrong right now. Are you going in? If you're going in, get on a cart. Don't walk in. Have somebody get you on that cart. Don't take the chance of doing more damage on the way in if it's something serious.
So this is the main concern for Andy Reid. He's watching the game, but his mind is on the sideline right now. Dorsey Levin's picked up 4 yards. Brian Westbrook is back in there at 2nd down and 6 in Dallas territory. And McNabb under a huge rush, and it was Greg Ellis again. So going into the locker room is Terrell Owens, and the Philadelphia offensive line having a lot of problems with Greg Ellis. Not good for Philadelphia.
Well, they knew that was going to be an issue, and it has proved to be true. He has done a great job. You see right there, I would not have allowed Terrell Owens to walk from the bench to the tunnel into the locker room. I bring the cart out, I put him on the cart. You can see right there, it is more serious than a lot of people thought. You got to put your pride away and You know, nobody wants to be carted off the field, but you've got to put your best interest of the team's interest in mind.
You know, you have that adrenaline flowing also, Moose. You know, when that adrenaline flows, all of a sudden you start thinking that you can overcome something. And that injury absolutely looks a lot worse than people think.
And now the Cowboys on top of that. Terrence Newman makes an interception on the pass intended for Greg Lewis. So everything is falling down on the Philadelphia Eagles right now as Newman with the interception. And that is his third of the year, giving Dallas the ball.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
And welcome back to Philadelphia. We understand that they are now x-raying Terrell Owens, who limped off the field, tried to run a little bit, and then was helped into the locker room once he reached the tunnel. And Keyshawn Johnson making the catch, and the interception by Terrence Newman giving the Cowboys the ball. And this is what the scene looked like once they left the playing field.
And now Terrell Owens was able to make it off the field on his own power, but as soon as he got inside the tunnel, he stopped, and then he got some assistance, but that should have been a long time before that.
And McNabb's reaction on the sideline. So what a thin line and how tenuous it is during the course of a full season of football. You're dominating, and all of a sudden you got some questionable injuries. They're not questionable, but they could hurt your club to key people. Here's Julius Jones, and he's not going to get anywhere. On 2nd down and 2, will actually lose a pair, and Dhani Jones once again making the big play. Andre Gerard has returned to right guard for the Cowboys. He started the game. Matt Lair came in after he was benched, but here's Gerard again.
And the one thing that the people in Philadelphia cannot do is question the fact is why was Terrell Owens on the field at that point? Because they're down 7-6, because they don't have home field yet. There's no reason for him to be on the sideline. Football is a physical game, and sometimes things happen. Now, hopefully he's going to be okay and he'll be able to join this team, but nobody should question why he was on the field at that point.
3rd down and 3 for Cowboys. On the 13-yard line, Testaverde out of the pocket, throws behind Witten, the intended receiver, and 4th down coming up. And Tony Siragusa is checking on the injury to Terrell Owens. So he has gone there to investigate, and we'll get a report from him as soon as we can. And there you see Vinny going to the sideline, talking about that mix-up, and Dexter Wynn going back in punt formation for Matt McBriar, who will be kicking from just about the Dallas goal line.
Good series by the Philadelphia Eagles defense, coming in with all that negative stuff that was going on, came in and forced a 3-and-out to the Cowboys.
And running up for the short kick, here is Dexter Wynn, who caught the ball in Cowboy territory, and after the 35-yard kick, Wynn returns it 14 yards, but the Eagles will start from the 36-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys here. Todd Pinkston, who was shaken up before, back on the field as Owens is in the locker room, and we'll get a report.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Aspen Edge, the low-carb lager with more taste.
7-6 in favor of the Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles starting in enemy territory. 28 drives, second most in the league. Brian Westbrook with the carry, getting to the 31-yard line. Weather becoming a factor here. The temperature started in the low 40s. It's now in the mid to low 30s. Expected to get down to freezing temperatures to the teens tonight, and precipitation, as reported, already has begun.
Yeah, Dick, there's a big, there's a nice coating of wet mist right on top of the grass right now that could come in to be a factor.
2nd down and 5 from the 31-yard line, and McNabb drills it. Flag down, catch made by L.J. Smith. It would be a 1st down to the 21 pending the call.
Holding, 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's on Jermaine Mayberry. Tony, what did you find out about Terrell Owens?
Well, right now he's still just getting x-rays. There's a host of people here in the tunnel waiting, so I'm just one of the cattle waiting to hear the news. As soon as I get it, though, Dick Stockton, I will bring it right to you.
As a good sideline reporter would, and that's what we really appreciate.
End zone analyst, please.
That's right. That's what you are, and that sets you apart. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Second down and 15.
I like that title. End zone analyst.
End zone analyst.
I like that.
I'm going to patent that.
I wonder if
don't anybody out there use it.
I wonder if you have business cards made up like that. Ball is on the 41. McNabb on play action going underneath, and Smith making the grab down to the 35-yard line. Still about 10 yards shy of the first down. Kalen Thornton making the tackle. You can see that precipitation or mist or whatever you want to call it on the shirt. Todd Pinkston, who went out with an ankle injury earlier, now back in there. So it's Pinkston and Freddie Mitchell as the main receivers, although the leading pass catcher today has been Brian Westbrook. Latest weather conditions. Third down and 9. McNabb stepping up on the run. Drop. It was right in and out of the hands of Todd Pinkston. Now he'll really hear it from the crowd.
There's Roy Williams again on the hit, Moose.
Yeah, he's coming over to deliver a big hit, but again, it's a catchable pass to Todd Pinkston. You've got your big guy out. Terrell Owens is out of the lineup right now. You can't be looking around at where contact is coming from. Concentrate, make the catch. Everybody has to concentrate a little bit more when your big play threat is out of the lineup, and that was Dallas's concern. They were worried about the big play. They have done a very good job this afternoon of eliminating the big play that really hurt them that first game.
And boy, the Eagles mastered this move. Dirk Johnson's punt is down by Roderick Hood at about the 3-yard line.
You can't make the catch if you lose your focus. Todd Pinkston is going to sneak a peek on this route. Watch him right here. He's looking up. He's looking for the defender. He takes his eyes off the quarterback and the ball. Hard to get back and adjust. You're going to take the hit anyways. Make the catch.
From the 3-yard line, play action, and the pass intended for the fullback Darian Barnes. And Vinny Testaverde was rushed to the back of the end zone on that last play, bringing up second down and 10.
Hugh Douglas had a nice rush on that and really got in his face. Vinny really didn't have time to see the receiver.
There's Hugh Douglas down at the bottom. Beats Flozell Adams to the inside. I guess Flozell thinks he's got help because there's not a whole lot of effort. Again, there's another one where there's just a miscommunication between those 5 guys up front.
3 wide outs for the Cowboys on second and 10. Testaverde floats it out there, and it's caught by Keyshawn Johnson. Another super catch, the first for a touchdown. Gets him to the 31-yard line, a gain of 27 with Shepard on the coverage.
More impressive than the catch is the presence of where you are on the field and getting your feet down. Up, tap, out. Good job by Keyshawn.
26, defense. That penalties decline. Results of the play, first down.
You see right over the top, makes the catch, taps the feet, both down. Keyshawn Johnson, he's numbered in top 10 in yards per catch this year. I mean, he's averaging over 15 a catch. He's had a couple big ones again today.
And he had a big one against the Dallas Cowboys, against the Seattle Seahawks, in one where the league said, well, maybe he wasn't in the back of the end zone, but it went for a big victory for the Cowboys. Lito Shepard guilty of a foul. It was declined, and a first down for Dallas. And here is Testaverde, takes the safe swing pass to Julius Jones, who will get the first down, and knocked by Jeremiah Trotter out of bounds. Let's go down to the Goose.
Guys, we just got to report the x-rays are negative on Terrell Owens. There's no fractures. It's a ankle sprain, and right now he's back there getting retaped. They said that he's going to try and come back out. I find that highly unlikely, but anything could happen.
Good news for the Eagles. That's all it is, and it could have been a lot worse for Terrell Owens.
Now, unfortunately, the way it got tucked, it's going to be classified as one of those high ankle sprains, and those are very, very difficult. Much different than if you roll your ankle to the outside. When it gets tucked and goes flat, it's a much more difficult injury to come back from. So, fortunately, no breaks, but we'll see what the prognosis is.
I don't think it would be smart if he was to come back out here and play Moose. I mean, everybody knows that they're trying to supply here, but I don't think that they want Terrell Owens at 80% the rest of the season. Rest him and get him back to 100%, even if he has to sit out next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Eagles need to win one game to wrap up home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. And of course, with Atlanta winning last night, they had to get that win. It doesn't have to be today. It could be at St. Louis next week or the season finale against the Cincinnati Bengals. 2nd down and 10 after Julius Jones is stopped for no gain. And here's pressure up the middle, and the quick pass was nearly intercepted. Witten was the intended receiver. Keith Adams knocked it away, and it was Michael Lewis who almost wound up with the ball in his hand.
The Philadelphia Eagles bringing a bunch of pressure up onto the inside. Dallas does a good job of picking it up. They turn the outside guys free. They try and get it to Jason Witten right there. Keith Adams and Michael Lewis there to deliver the hit. He might have sneaked a little peek too.
Remember, Vinny Testaverde has had a string of intercepted games. Right now, he's had a flawless game for him. It'll be 3rd down and 10, and the crowd in full throat from the 45-yard line. And Testaverde goes down. And it's Ike Reese. A loss of 7 and the 3rd sack for the Eagles today. 45 on the year, leading the NFL.
This is a good job. There's Richie Anderson going. Now he's going to come in and pick up the blitzer, but watch, the other guy watches what it's a double blitz. They're bringing the overload to that side. Richie Anderson has got to realize that there's 2 guys coming. You got to take the first guy to get there. He was in between a rock and a hard place on that blitz. Good job by Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles.
Matt McBriar punting, and here's Dexter Wynn. And Wynn is brought down at the 32-yard line after a 42-yard punt. 7:44 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Still a 1-point Cowboy lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by new M3 Power from Gillette. Feel the power of the world's best shave. By Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza. By Cialis, Cialis is here. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Cialis is right for you. And by Toyota, choose any direction as long as it's moving forward.
Far cry from the first meeting 5 weeks ago when the Eagles won 49-21. They had a touchdown in 6 of the first 9 possessions, a stretch of 5 in a row. Totally different game. 7-6 Cowboys lead. 1st down on the 32. And McNabb with the pass, and open is Chad Lewis. Gets to midfield. Now it's time for a game break, so let's check in with James Brown.
Hey, Dick, Chad Pennington, I don't know what in the world they've been talking about. His shoulder looks fine here. Hooking up with Santana Moss, a 7-yard strike. Santana Moss's 2nd touchdown reception of the day. Hey, Dick, he had 2 all season coming into today. 30-14, PAT was no good. Back to Dick Stockton.
Yeah, JB, I know exactly how many touchdown passes he had all season before today. He used to be on my fantasy team.
Dumped him, huh?
Well,
dumped him, all right.
Did you know that the Seattle game was the coming out game?
Yeah, I forget that everybody emerges when they play Seattle's defense.
Westbrook is out wide, but the pass is thrown in the interior to L.J. Smith, who gets 5 yards as the Eagles again moving into Dallas territory. You can see the precipitation as the weather is deteriorating in the Delaware Valley.
That's rain, you mean? The precipitation's too advanced.
Well, you know, it could be a mixture.
Some of my friends are listening. They don't know what that word means.
Yeah.
It's rain.
At Pitt, they didn't mention precipitation to you at all, huh?
Nah, they didn't know what that.
I thought it was sweat.
2nd down and 5. And here's Westbrook trying to go outside. He does. 1st down. Brian Westbrook. Terrific bit of running for him as Westbrook picks up 12 yards on the play, has 53 in the game.
Watch Lynn Scott. He comes up. He's going to be on the outside, kind of unblocked. There goes that gear that Brian Westbrook has. That should be. I hear you, Coach.
Come on.
How can you? I mean, you're unblocked at the end of the line of scrimmage, and here he comes around the side, and he gets into that other gear, beats you to the corner, and then gets north and south for about 10 more yards.
Does a lot of the things Marshall Faulk did when he was in his heyday, and Westbrook much smaller. And down he goes. Marcellus Wiley making the play, and a loss of a couple. Interesting interest here because looming over all of this, besides the incoming weather, is the loss of Terrell Owens, whose x-rays on his injured ankle proved to be negative. He has an ankle sprain. There you see the Eagles used to big plays. But today, they've been limited to only 6 points. This is an explosive offense, but they haven't exploded to this point. 2nd and 13 on the Cowboys 36. Westbrook gets a couple, and that will bring up 3rd down and long with Greg Ellis making the play on the run.
That was an interesting game of cat and mouse at the line of scrimmage. We saw it earlier in the game when Donovan McNabb comes up. He changes the play at the line of scrimmage, and it seems like it's Greg Ellis, the guy who's trying to signal things back to the defense. But we didn't get an opportunity to see, what the play was the first time because there was a penalty. But he brought everybody over to the defense's left side, and Philadelphia was running to the defensive right side. So they're going to have to keep an eye on that. They don't want to signal themselves out of position.
And it is the cat and mouse kind of game. And the timeout called by the Eagles. So they use the first. And they may have to save a couple here in the second half. And this is the scene in Philadelphia.
Peace on earth. All right. Harley? All right.
What's better than to see Santa on Christmas week? Tell you what, they don't all have to be kids, and Santa doing his traditional thing. And there's the pass, and it's picked off by Roy Williams. And Williams returning it for the Cowboys.
Look out.
Going up the middle and finally tripped up as he gets into Eagle territory. Brian Westbrook was the intended receiver, and Williams picks it off, and that is the 3rd turnover committed by the Eagles today.
This is when Roy Williams is at his strength. He's on the outside. Look at the adjustment there. It is so much easier for him when he's up in the mix and he's making adjustments instead of being back and moving forward and trying to make those same adjustments. Now watch the run afterwards. He does a great job of getting it back into Philadelphia territory. Cowboys rolling the dice, coming with a lot of blitzers on this play. This last guy up here at the top is Roy Williams. There's another guy here. This is the gentleman that's going to come free. This is Marcellus Wiley on the blitz. But what that does, it leaves Roy Williams in space with Brian Westbrook. But Marcellus Wiley gets the pressure into Donovan McNabb's face. He throws an ill-advised pass right there. If he maybe could have gotten that one up a little higher and allowed Brian Westbrook to run into it. But that is one of those plays that you got to pull down. Don't try and force something and make a mistake.
And they have been able to pressure McNabb, and Wiley, who has been kind of remiss. He's been missing in action as far as a quarterback rusher, but got the job done. And the pass, not a good one from Testaverde, low to Richie Anderson. Roy Williams, by the way, who had his first interception of the year last week against New Orleans, now has 2 in 2 weeks. And the 3 turnovers, first time this year for the Eagles that they've coughed it up 3 times.
Yeah, they are a team that is very good at securing the ball, whether it's running backs and receivers when they've got it in their hands. Donovan's made some very good decisions this year. They don't give the opposition many opportunities through turnovers, but the last 2 weeks they've gotten a little careless, a little sloppy with the ball.
From the 46 of the Eagles on the rollout, the pass caught by Keyshawn Johnson, and he'll be about 3.5 yards shy of the first down. Lito Shepard again on the coverage. He got 7 that time. The offensive leaders across the top of your screen in this game hasn't been much offense, which is a surprise because Philadelphia coming in with a lot of weapons. And I'm going to go on a big limb right now, Darryl, and say that this is the best Cowboy defensive play of the season to this point.
Yeah, that's a real thick limb. That's extremely thick. You're not out there on those like flexible branches.
I'm taking a chance on this now.
Are you sure you're not on the trunk?
3rd down and 3. Testaverde slipped for the moment, and he's going for Keyshawn. And the ball's intercepted on a deflection. Sheldon Brown. And the Eagles get a break. Lito Shepard and Sheldon Brown, both cornerbacks, were back there. There's a flag on the play.
Holding, 80, offense. That penalty's declined. Play results in an interception. First down, Philadelphia.
It was tipped by Shepard into the hands of Brown. The penalty on Ryan declined.
The reason the Philadelphia Eagles get so many turnovers is they have so many people around the ball. You see the play right there on the ball by Lito Shepherd, but here comes Sheldon Brown across to help out. It's unbelievable. And again, this defense on the sudden change, when you have a turnover and you've got to get on the field, you're not expecting to be on the field in that situation. It's a sudden change. You're out there. Somehow they come together immediately. Teams do not have success against this Eagles defense after a turnover. They generate another turnover right back from the Dallas Cowboys.
Second pick by Brown this year, and the 11th interception thrown by Testaverde in the last 7 games against Dallas. And here's Westbrook on the screen. Here's Westbrook close to midfield, and maybe that interception by Brown was the spark that the Eagles needed. A 20-yard play from McNabb to Westbrook.
You've got to pursue the ball. Leonardo Carson does a good job of seeing what this is going to be. A screen pass, he gets disengaged, but he kind of stutters and stops. Just keep going. Let me tell you what, Brian Westbrook can shake a linebacker in space. He can shake a safety in space. He's not going to have any problem shaking a defensive tackle in space. Leonardo, just come down the line as fast as you can and take a shot at knocking him down.
And here is Westbrook, and he'll be stopped after a gain of a 1.5 yards. Quickly, let's go down to Tony.
We just got to report that even though Terrell Owens wants to come back, he will not. He shut it down. He's out for the game.
And you said that, that's what you would do, and of course, Moose, you agreed with him, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. Right now, the first thing you're going to do, you start working on that swelling. That's going to be a big sprain. Get him in some ice, and you do the contrast with the hot water, the ice water. You go back and forth. Start controlling that swelling right down. Minimize the delay, the time that he's going to be out of your lineup by getting aggressive in your treatments right now.
Because when you have an ankle injury, the biggest thing you want to do is control the swelling, and I think that's what they're going to be attacking right now during the game.
Dorsey Levens attacking the right side of the Cowboy defensive line. Dexter Coakley, first time we mentioned his name today after a game of a couple.
And it was a catch and run. There's Roy Williams coming in. You see right there, when you get pulled down from behind like that, the ankle gets caught in the ground. Watch at the end. Watch how it gets tucked. Like your toes get caught behind it and it gets all rolled around and stuff. Very fortunate that there's not a fracture in there, but what it does, it's not like the typical ankle sprain where you step on something and you roll your ankle to the outside or roll it to the inside. When it gets caught back behind like that in that awkward position, much more difficult to come back from that.
And the sprained ankle, x-rays were negative, and it'll be 3rd down and 6. McNabb can pick and choose right now, and he's going to choose to go deep. He has a receiver down there, and it's knocked away. It hung for Greg Lewis, and it gave Roy Williams time to get there and knock it away. But it looked like Lewis had beaten the defenders by several yards.
Well, we saw in the first half, Chad Lewis got into the back of the corner of the end zone. They got some pressure on Donovan, and Dat Wynn was unable to locate the ball and make a play. Roy Williams knows he's in trouble right now, but look at as he gets close to Greg Lewis, he looks back to pick up the flight of the ball. On the touchdown to Chad Lewis, Dat Wynn didn't get a chance to get his head around to pick up the flight of the ball.
Dirk Johnson punting on 4th down, and Lance Frazier is going to let it bounce, and this time it goes into the end zone. So it'll be the touchback, and the Cowboys will get it out on the 20-yard line. Gives us a chance to remind you that coming this February, NASCAR on Fox returns with the biggest event in all of racing, the Daytona 500. The world's best drivers go bumper to bumper, kicking off 15 weeks of NASCAR coverage. It's the 47th running of the Daytona 500 this February in high definition, only on Fox. Under a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter, and we have had a scoreless 3rd quarter with the Cowboys leading the Eagles 7-6. Cowboys coming in 5-8, members of a big 5-8 club right now in the NFC. Eagles 12-1, the best record, and a chance to nail down home field advantage throughout the playoffs if they win. First down pass to Keyshawn Johnson, and they'll mark it close to the first down. And Johnson may even have it with 49 seconds on the clock. This is what it's doing in Philadelphia. We started pretty mild today with temperatures in the mid-40s. Temperature has plummeted. Tony, that means it's dropped down fast.
Thank you.
And we have rain.
And these conditions are just going to continue to break down. But Dallas has just weathered the storm. Philadelphia's 2nd and 3rd quarters. You see right there the point differential.
And Julius Jones goes nowhere and will lose a few. And that was Sam Rayburn and Paul Grassmanis coming off the bench for the Eagles, and a loss on the play of 3.
And today the Dallas Cowboys in that second and third quarter actually 7-6 favorite. But there again, Sam Rayburn, boy, what a nice year he has had. A guy that as the season starts off, you're not sure what the production's going to be, but with some injuries, he's got more time out there, and he's proven to be very effective playing the inside tackle position.
And that will take care of things in the third quarter. That is the end of the third with the score. Cowboys 7 and the Eagles 6. And Fox NFL Sunday continues after a word from your local Fox station.
Great playmakers do their best work when the game is hanging in the balance, and he is minus one of his big playmakers on the outside. His receivers cannot get open at this point, but watch Donovan McNabb. He has got a group of Cowboys around him. He finds another gear right there and gets a big gain down close to the 20-yard line.
He showed that veteran slide, too. A couple years ago, he would have been trying to go and get that extra yard. Now he slides and just takes what he has.
We saw number 7, Vic, do a lot of this last night against Carolina. First down to Dorsey Levens. And Levens is bottled up. No gain on the play. And meanwhile, McNabb with 2 runs for 30 yards, and the Eagles trying to set up for at least a field goal to take the lead. Well, following football on Fox, it's the Convair Celebration of Gold. Olympic all-around gymnastic champions Paul Hamm and Carly Patterson lead a cast of gold medalists performing routines with pop's biggest stars. It's the Conair Celebration of Gold from Mohegan Sun following football on Fox. Akers trying to get ready. 2:42 to go, and the fake handoff. McNabb incomplete to Chad Lewis. And it'll be third down coming up. Donovan McNabb has engineered 9 come from behind victories in his career, a couple this year.
It's a part of his game that doesn't get a lot of mention, but he is the guys that we're seeing around the league, the guys who are stepping up to that quarterback level. And Brett Favre is nearing retirement, and we've got that group of Donovan McNabb and Peyton Manning, you guys in their 5th, 6th, 7th year that are starting to step up. And the one thing they all have, similar to that guy who's been playing up in Green Bay for quite some time, is that competitive spirit and that fire.
The Eagles are left with 1 timeout. Two minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys have led most of this game. Donovan McNabb in the rain and chill here in Philadelphia. And the lights trying to bring the Eagles back to win, and what a win it would be if he can. It would wrap up home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. Of course, the Eagles have been there before, and they have been unable to get over that hurdle the last 2 years at home. Bill Parcells trying to hope his Cowboys hang in.
Yeah, he's come in with a plan. This time his players have done a much better job of executing it. Julius Jones, who was not there the first time they played, has been a big addition, but you sit here at this point and you just wonder, you know, is it going to be the same old thing for the Cowboys? Are they going to play well for 57 minutes and find a way to lose at the end?
Time will tell, and time's coming up. Third down and 10. Westbrook breaks the tackle. First down. Ryan Westbrook, and a flag is down. Penalty marker down, and it was Dadwin who initially missed Westbrook, allowing him to get the necessary yardage. But let's hold everything. And it appears to be against the Cowboys.
Offside, 90, defense lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Play results in a first down.
Eric Abagu, who had recovered the fumble created by Greg Ellis for the turnover that resulted in the first Dallas score, and it'll be a first down and goal. The Eagles have won the last 23 games. They have had at least 300 total yards. And they have 310 today, trying to keep that streak going.
The big thing about that last conversion, though, it gives them an opportunity to take more time off the clock. Dallas is going to have to use a timeout to grab an extra stop before the 2-minute warning.
First and goal at the 8, and here is Dorsey Levens getting close to the goal line and tackled at the 2. Second and goal, and the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning.
I'd take another one right now.
And of course, Bill Parcells was debating whether to call the timeout, and he is not going to do it. He'll let the 2-minute clock run down.
I know it would only leave him with one, but it's going to add some precious seconds to it.
2-minute warning here in Philadelphia. 7-6, but the Eagles are on the brink. 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys have 2 timeouts remaining. The Eagles have 1. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 2 for the Eagles, trying to take the lead in a game in which the Cowboys have held that slimmest of margins for most of the contest.
Hey, Tony, what do you do right now? You let them score right here to save some time on your drive, or do you sit here and try and make a stop, hold them to a field goal, and lose some time on the clock?
Nah, you got to try and stop it. Precipitation for Dick Stockton is increasing, so you could see a fumble. I mean, that ball looks slippery from where I'm standing right here.
And if you hold them to a field goal, at least you only need a field goal to win the game if it comes down to that. Here's the handoff, and it's a touchdown. Dorsey Levens, his second in as many weeks.
Well, so much for what we think, Moose.
I really feel right now the Philadelphia Eagles have taken another step. You know, if they are the class, obviously they are the class of the NFC, but if they're trying to get to one of the NFL elites, I think what they have done over the last 2 weeks, which is win ugly, they have the resiliency. They've taken that next step when the game was on the line and they had not played well for 55, 56 minutes during the course of this game today. When everything was on the line, they went down the field and got a touchdown.
That's what champions do. And now the 2-point conversion as the Eagles try to give themselves a 7-point lead with 1:57 on the clock. Westbrook will go in motion, and McNabb backed up, throws, and it is no good as Chad Lewis could not control the ball, and the score remains 12-7. Cowboys need a touchdown to take over the lead in this game. We'll be right back. The Eagles lead it 12-7 with 1:57 remaining after coming up empty on the 2-point conversion. And the Eagles, we talked about not playing well, but winning nonetheless. They did it against the Bears when they won by 10. 3 against Cleveland in overtime, and they won by 5 against Baltimore before their 3-point lead victory last week against Washington. Terrence Copper returning the kick. Those of you who watch the Jets vanquish the Seattle Seahawks. We're in the waning moments here in Philadelphia. Dick Stockton, Darryl Johnston, and Tony Siragusa. The Eagles trailing the Cowboys by 1 point most of this game on a missed extra point blocked by Greg Ellis. David Akers have scored moments ago to take the lead.
And the big thing that all the Cowboys players have talked about is confidence. And we could get a classic example of this right here. We just watched the Philadelphia Eagles march right down the field for the go-ahead points. Dallas's lack of confidence, is it going to show on this drive?
And the pass caught by Quincy Morgan stops the clock and gives the Cowboys a first down. Dallas with 2 timeouts remaining. And to take a look at the game so far, and this was the touchdown by Chad Lewis, the block by Ellis on the extra point. Big turnover, resulting in the touchdown from Testaverde to Keyshawn Johnson. And the extra point making it 7-6 before Dorsey Levens' touchdown gave the Eagles a 12-7 lead. They missed the 2-point conversion. Eagles blitzing. And Testaverde completes the pass and did not hold on. Incomplete to Morgan. And that stops the clock at 1:42, bringing up 2nd and 10.
There it is. That's that Achilles heel of the Dallas Cowboys this season. The 3 or 4 critical plays that need to be made during the course of a game, they're not doing it, and they're not doing it on a consistent basis. Quincy Morgan has got to make that catch with the game on the line.
That is the 6th drop by a Cowboy receiver. And it is 2nd down and 10 on the Dallas 38. Testaverde's pass intercepted, overthrown, and Lito Shepherd. And the Eagles protecting the ball and a minute and 33 seconds away from clinching home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs.
You can see it all right there in Bill Parcells' face. And it's just, you know, he got what he did. He got again today. He got what he didn't expect. You know, I don't know if he ever expected his team to be able to be in a position to win this game on the last drive. But again, a critical interception thrown by Vinny Testaverde results in what appears to be another Dallas Cowboy loss.
So the Philadelphia Eagles, if they go on and win, will capture their 13th win of the year for the first time in franchise history and become the first team to go undefeated in the NFC East. But they know they have one major hurdle, and the story is Terrell Owens right now, who is shaken up as Dorsey Levens gets a couple of yards. The Cowboys will use a timeout, and Terrell Owens suffering an ankle injury, a sprained ankle. X-rays were negative, and that's going to be on Andy Reid's mind, but not until after the game. Minute 27 remaining in the fourth. The Eagles with the ball and a 5-point lead. And for Andy Reid's team, home field advantage. They've been there before, and they have had a marvelous year, but the Philadelphia Eagles will not be able to exhale until they win an NFC title game and get to the Super Bowl. Bill Parcells has been there before. This season will end in frustration for him. 2nd down and 8 on the Eagle 45, and Dorsey Levens. Levens with a touchdown today, his 2nd of the year against the Dallas Cowboys, gets 10 yards to move the sticks.
You see everybody on that Philadelphia Eagles sideline starting to relax. It's been a tough-fought day for them, but they found another way. The resiliency of the Eagles working again 2 weeks in a row.
Cold hard.
Pivotal plays from today's game. Roy Williams with an interception negated by an illegal contact penalty. Then an interception by Sheldon Brown after the Cowboys had created a turnover. Billy Cundiff misses a field goal that would have put him up 10-6. And Donovan McNabb on that last drive with everything hanging in the balance. 2 big scrambles for a total of 30 yards on that drive. So the Philadelphia Eagles finding a way again for 2 weeks in a row, pulling out an ugly win, but I really think that shows that they've taken another step towards being a championship team.
There's no question about it, Darrell. You beat Washington by 3 on the road, and now you eke by Dallas, but it's a win. And right now, they're the Eagles who have clinched home field throughout the playoffs. The Atlanta Falcons, they won last night. They clinched the NFC South. The Green Bay Packers are leading in the NFC North, and Seattle now 7-7. The Rams with a victory over Arizona can tie, and in fact by tiebreaker move ahead of Seattle in the NFC West.
Yeah, we'd have to reverse these two if St. Louis wins.
And Carolina losing last night to go 6-8, and Minnesota hanging in at 7-6. As the playoff story will continue going into week 16 next week. Well, Andy Reid didn't have to put on the tights for a Terrell Owens touchdown reception. He just hopes T.O. is going to be healthy enough to play.
Yeah, you know what? Right now, Andy Reid hopes he has to put those tights on because he wants Terrell Owens back out on that field.
And the first time in team history, the Eagles finish unbeaten 6-0 in the NFC East, and their 13 victories represent a franchise high. Final score, the Eagles 12, Dallas 7, 13-1 for the Eagles, 5-9 for the Cowboys, and we'll be back. The Eagles make it 9 out of 10 over the Cowboys, winning 12-7 in our UPS leaderboard today. Donovan McNabb, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Julius Jones had 80 yards for the Cowboys.